what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to if you're new here. I'm Jade Dean, your host for today's episode of something that's gonna happen today. Oh my gosh, let me come out the house like this. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and get on into it. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the books I have read or am currently reading at this moment in time. So yeah, you should read them too. A lot of them are self-help books or just like fictional things that I actually like to read. So with that being said, let's get into the books that I'm going to be showing you on what I've done and what I've read. Alright, so here you go. Bam. These beautiful babies. They're gorgeous. This is all of them lined up next to each other. We'll go through them each individually and I'll give you like a little synopsis of what each of them is about. So cool. So the book that I am currently reading right now is a self-help book. Yeah, it's called You Are a Badass. Right, and it's like how to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life, right? This basically ties in with my previous video with the law of attraction. They talk about that so far in this book as well, and like reaching your highest self. So that's really nice, and it basically goes into explaining more about your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, which I found really interesting because I'm like, I never thought of it like that, being that like when you're young it's all about your subconscious mind, because your conscious mind, your frontal lobe, which is where the conscious is, hasn't fully developed, so everything is subconscious. So all your beliefs and all your values are subconsciously there. Like what the heck, I did not even think of that. So everything that you've learned as a kid and as you apply it and you're older, right? Just follow me on this, okay? When you're a kid and you're learning information from your family who's telling you, okay, you know, money's not easy to get, for example, let's just say that. Money's super hard, you have to work really hard, blah, 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 whatever, right? That is ingrained in your subconscious mind. So when you get older and you're able to make decisions and use your conscious mind, it's like automatically telling you, you can't do this, it's really hard, you need to work really hard to get money, and all this other stuff. Like, who knew that tied in together? So there's people who are like, oh yeah, money's easy to get, I can do this, whatever, blah blah blah, obtain money faster than people who have that subconscious mindset of, oh, money is super hard, I have to work really hard to get that. Like, that's just crazy to think about. Let that sit in, okay? Like, you can apply that to everything, even if like you have like a relationship going on in your life right now. What you learned from generations, and not to say like this is like blaming your family, blaming your parents, no, okay? Because this dates back to like millions of generations prior to that, you know what I'm saying? So it's a big thing. Great book thus far. I'm reading it, loving it. You should read it too, okay? It's gonna help you learn a lot about yourself and things that are going on in your mind, which I think is amazing. But don't take my word for it, read it for yourself, come back to me and let me know what you think. Okay? Okay, second book. This book I have not read yet, but I'm going to read once I'm done with the other book. It's called Don't Overthink It, right? And I believe it's Anne Bogle. I don't know how to pronounce her last name and I feel really bad for it. But anyways, this is also a self-help book, and it's about making decisions and finding an easier way to make those decisions and stop second-guessing yourself. She talks about it basically of being able to overcome negative thoughts and patterns, and like being able to deal with them in like a more positive and healthy way. So I think that's actually really beneficial. This is the book and what it looks like. I haven't read it yet, so I'll come back to you once I read it. Oh, don't look at my nails. Oh my gosh. Once I read it, to let you know what it's actually really like and what it's really about. The other book, this one is like super digestible. I don't even know the proper term. Super digestible chapters. They're super short. They're easy. The font is pretty small compared to like other books that I've read. But it's a really good book. I'll even let you look at this one too. Let's see, which is interesting. This one's, again, don't overthink. Don't really have too much to say about that one because I haven't read it yet, but I just read like the back of it and let you know. Okay, and then the third book. This is by far one of my favorite books that I've read this year, which I didn't read to begin with. I read it because of a YouTuber that I watched a long time ago, and she raved about it, and that's when I was like trying to like find my spiritual route and path going on in my life then. That was like 2-3 years ago. I finally actually got the book and was like, I'm gonna read it, you know. It's called Everybody Always by Bob Goff. If you know who that is, he's actually written Love Does and Dream Big, 2 other books. Love Does comes right before this book, so that's really another book that you could read as well. This one I liked. It's very good. It's a well written book. I'd recommend it 110%. It does incorporate spirituality into the book, so if you believe, like, you know, going to church and all that stuff, all that jazz, then yeah, this book is definitely for you. Or if you're just looking into like figuring out, you know, if it's right for you or not. Yeah, so basically, anyways, he talks about how to become love and uses like Bible verses to explain how it's done, basically. And then he uses, not only that, he incorporates his experiences and what he's went through personally with certain people. Like, each chapter they're connected to an extent, but they're also just like individually talking about what's going on. I don't want to give too much away. It's actually a really good book, quick read, really, again, digestible little chapters that aren't super long. But if you're looking for something that's more like spiritual but also like relating to real life and like seeing how that spirituality can connect to real life aspects, that's really a good book for that, definitely. There is a chapter in here where he talks about filling his bucket with patience. That I loved so much because I'm like a very impatient person majority of my life. So if you're like me, again, this book definitely helps a lot with that. Okay, and I wouldn't say that's like a self-help book, but like, I guess you can say it's a self-help book, whatever you want to call it. And then my fourth book, this one is just one of my favorite movies. It's Breakfast Club, which is my all-time favorite movie. Okay, I have a t-shirt for it. Seen Pitch Perfect, it's in Pitch Perfect. One of the best movies known to date. Anyways, side note, this is another great movie. Love this movie. The book is just as good too. It's a fictional book, so we all know how that goes. It's A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. He writes such good inspirational books, like, and that turn into movies. It's phenomenal. And I love like the rugged, it looks like, you know, like old time. I love that. Again, super digestible. These are way larger fonts. I don't know if you can really tell it in the camera, but like, it's a lot bigger than the other books. But if you've never seen the movie A Walk to Remember, read the book first, for sure. It's like, I was like thinking, do I want to give away what it's about? Sure. Okay, spoiler alert. This book, oh my gosh, my nails look disgusting. I'm so sorry. This book and movie is like, it's about this girl who ends up having cancer, falling in love with a guy, pretty much, and they're living their lives together, and he's trying to give her the best life. Pretty easy, pretty simple. There's a lot more that goes on, obviously, but that's the gist, okay? And if you're like a hopeless romantic, or just like love romances, or sassy, or if you just, you know, like a good story, this book is definitely for you. The movie is just as good. You can watch the movie too. It's like an hour and a half, I think, but reading the book with it, the books are usually always better, and there's a lot more going on because you can only put so much into a movie, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that's the 4th book. And then my 5th and final book is a book I recommend to like literally everybody under the sun who's like, oh my gosh, what's a good book I should read, blah blah blah. This one doesn't have a cover. The cover's gone, okay? So like it's just black without the cover. But I'll let it show you here. It says The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. Frickety frack. Okay, by Mark Manson. It's literally, again, another digestible book, short chapters, good font. It's another self-help book, excuse me, I guess is the best way. It's just kind of like allowing you to just like let go, chill out, stop worrying about certain things that you don't need to worry about, that are, 1, not in your control, or 2, have no actual literal fact of matter to bother you in your life. If that makes sense. That kind of sounded like gibberish coming out of my mouth, but yeah, it's basically just letting you move on with your life and not worry about unimportant things that have nothing to do with you, is the basic gist of what I have obtained from it. But you know, again, these are all books that you need to read for yourself, but I do like that book for sure if you're just trying to like figure out how to stop caring about things. Like, you should obviously care about a lot of things, but how to just, you know, like not care about small things that, like, I don't even know what's the best word. What is the word I'm thinking of? Somebody give it to me. What is it? I can't think of it. Just stop caring about like minute, unimportant factors of life. I could give you an example, but my brain is like drawing a blank. Yeah. Things to not care about, you know? Like what people say about you, what people think about you. Don't like care about that stuff. You don't. The only person's opinion that matters is yours. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. My brain literally drew a blank there. That's basically what he talks about in his book. So if you need a little extra oomph, a little extra push, like me, who needed that with all my self-help books, again, this year of 2022 was definitely the year of growth, self-growth, you know, and learning more about who I am, my purpose, what I want to do, how I want to do it, and living my life to its fullest potential. That's what I've done. Again, I just threw in that little Nicholas Sparks book as like an extra, you know, get my mind out of it. Because, you know, if you're just spending all this time obtaining information and learning all this stuff and watching videos on YouTube, or like even sitting here listening to this, like you literally could spend your time working on developing yourself, you know. Again, like in my last video, the law of attraction, just as an example, instead of watching the video, you know, like actually apply it. You know, you can't do anything without applying it to your life. So yeah, you can read all these books all day as to just like get you motivated or to learn more about something, but until you apply it to your life, then like it doesn't really do anything. So after you read any of these books or all of them, apply them to your life, live your life the way that you want to live it, because you're the only one who's going to make the difference. Just saying, just putting it out there, out into the world. Yep. But I will, you know, go ahead and get out of here. Get out of your hair, you know what I'm saying? So read the books for sure. Recommend them all 10 out of 10s. They are great books, except for the one, or did I say one? Yeah. The Don't Overthink It book that I have not read, and so I'll actually say 2. And the one that I'm reading right now, currently can't say that they're 10 out of 10s because I haven't finished them yet, but so far it's looking pretty good with the one that I'm currently reading, so Wait, look at what it say. If it's that good so far, why shouldn't you read it too? Check it out. But yep, I will catch you guys in the next one. Again, always down below is the business, which I will definitely be doing another video on to do my hair care routine. Right now it's just like a mess because, you know, I haven't washed anything right now. I don't know what's going on with it. It's just being obnoxious. Anyways, yeah, business hair care always in the freaking description. Instagrams are always down there too. And if you guys have any questions, anything you want to see at all, or excuse me, oh my gosh, disgusting. Anyways, excuse me. Let me know in the comments. I can do a whole bunch of other videos as well, or if you know you just want to chit chat, send me a message, man. Okay, I'm just letting you know. But yeah, okay, bye.